Oh, he wouldn't, would he?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the inaugural first day of the SLS. I'm one of your hosts, Patrick, and here I am with Chase, and we apparently are having some technical difficulties at the moment. There we go. Now we're all set. Once again, for the introduction, my name is Patrick with my co-host, Chase. And Chase, how excited are you for the first day?
Well, first off, I just want to say it's a pleasure to be here. I mean, this has been something that's been in the works for a while now, and we made our dream come true. So here we are. I mean, this is fantastic. We got a couple of great teams tonight. Things are looking great.
All right. Well, let's start out with a brief overview here. So, we're going to have games every Thursday and Friday starting at 8 p.m. One game at 8, one game at 9. And that's going to be every week for 5 or 6 weeks. 7? Okay. It is influx at the moment.
I like that, though. I mean, more league, better times. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Schedule for the week. We have Macro Gaming versus Gentleman's Club, followed by Ashen Ascension versus Macro Gaming. And next week, first game, Ashen Valkyrie versus Ashen Ascension, and Macro Gaming versus Gentleman's Club.
Yeah, I mean, this is an exciting matchups we got going on here over these next couple of days. I mean, this is going to be fantastic. I love it. I love it. So, I mean, high hopes for every team going into this thing, but do you have a favorite coming up so far?
I mean, honestly, that's the beauty of this. It's completely up in the air. We've got a whole bunch of games to figure this thing out, and I'm excited to dig right in.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Me too, absolutely. I mean, I've been playing League for a while now. You know, I always love seeing the game. I love playing the game. It's absolutely fantastic.
Alrighty then. Alright, we are about to head into our first champion select in the matchup of... Who do we got for our first game here? Macro Gaming versus Gentleman's Club. First band coming in on the blue side is Olaf.
Yeah, a tough pick all around this season. I mean, you've seen a lot of gameplay.
A super safe pick at all.
Absolutely. I mean, a guy that can just demolish and get rid of any CC.
Ooh, and the Gnar ban on the other side. Interesting. Haven't seen too much Gnar around this region, but it has been picking up steam in regions like China.
Absolutely. It's the items that really get him there now. And the Hecarim ban and the Kaisa ban coming out.
Oh, really targeting the jungler on the blue side. That is going to be interesting to see what he has left in his champion pool. But the Kaisa ban on red side, very strong AD carry, strong in every phase of the game, great at getting a lead, and an overall strong pick.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Kaisa's one of those champions where all of a sudden you're getting, or Q damage on you and you're done.
Woo! 3 jungle bans coming out from the blue side. You got to think they have a first pick in mind if they're committing that many resources.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, you take away 3 of his picks, then you pick his jungler. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it kind of forces his hand and what he's got left going on at that point. In the final bail, Camille.
Oh, Camille. That's a great band right there.
That is.
Oh, my goodness. That champion is an absolute menace. Oh, and the safe Thresh first pick on blue side here. Macro Gaming picking up the Thresh. Oh, boy. We might have a banger for the first
I know
game.
it's a tease. I know it's a tease.
Oh, there's no way.
I mean, what a great moment to start this series off. I mean, you gotta
you gotta admit, Macro Gaming probably would not see it coming. It's honestly not even the worst pick.
No, I mean, you got... Yeah,
that being said, there's no way this gets locked in.
Yeah, and it was teasing our little hearts over here.
But the Vayne pickup, another pretty strong AD carry on this patch, and a decent pick into Thresh. Very good at dip dive dodging around everything Thresh can throw. The box might throw a bit of a problem, but we'll see what other pick they have to complement this. Oh, and Anivia, another strong pick coming out this patch.
Yeah.
Really super good zone control. I have no idea why they buffed that.
Well,
absolute godforsaken champion.
It's just one of those things, right? I mean, the wave clear has always been insane, and the fact that they've pretty much added more mana this season, I mean, she can keep that wave clear up forever. Pushing on her, impossible.
Oh, absolutely.
Impossible.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting. Oh, and the Rengar
pick.
Now, Rengar, definitely going to be seeing maybe an Eclipse, maybe a Dust Blade out of him.
I would say with the Dust Blade, I mean, it's easier to get that pick-off potential right at the start. You get that little bit of an invis to kind of help you out, so you don't have to just double W. You can just double Q.
Oh, and a very, very safe staple pick from the mid laner, Orianna. Great scaling. Pretty decent mid game now with the item changes and the new Leandries, and just overall strong pick. Can't go wrong.
No, you really can't. It's
and we
safe picks no matter.
And
what.
we currently have one ball delivery system in the Rengar, so this definitely proven to be a decent combo
That's
so far.
possible.
Oh, and the Udyr pick on the side of Gentleman's Club. Now, this team, oh boy, if you can kite that team out, it's not looking so hot for him.
No, I mean, it's one of those things where Vayne is actually a pretty good counter to Rengar. You just pop the ultimate and you roll as soon as he comes onto you. You can't really get the damage based off the second Q. It gives you a little bit of a leeway in situations like that. So I wonder if the Vayne can survive this fight. Did they just take it all? I mean, you don't have another pick as of right now from what we're seeing.
Kind of interesting from the blue side, not picking up an AD carry in response to the Vayne. We're going to see a lot of strong AD carries banned out.
Yeah, and 80 carries, right? It was season after season after season. All the names was, buff the ADCs. Finally, here they get buffed. They're the number one champions out there right now. And the Malphite, Jhin, and the Riven ban. Interesting on the Riven ban.
Top laners are still up. Top laners are still up, and they must have done some scouting with that Riven pick.
Exactly. I mean, it's, with the new Ravenous Hydra and stuff like that, the AoE damage is in there. And a Shen ban.
Two very safe tanks taken away on the side of Macro Gaming.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be really interesting to see what Gentleman's Club picks up here.
Absolutely.
If they're going to save top for a counter pick or if they pick up a staple support. Still the likes of Alistair, Leona, Rel. A lot of strong support picks still up in the air right now.
I mean, I almost feel like if I'm Macro Gaming, I pick Shen because the Shen Rengar.
Whoa! We seeing a Viger bot lane, it looks like. No, that's going to be Viger. Oh, is it Vayne top we're seeing this game?
And Viger, it's a little bit of a
Viger bot? Oh boy,
there's going on here.
This is not what I expected in the slightest.
Ooh.
Oh, the Aphelios still up and confident.
Yep.
In the immobile AD carry. Oh, and the Wukong coming out top. I'm not sure if Macro Gaming knows they're against the Vayne. And if they do, Wukong's a pretty decent pick into Vayne.
He is.
Get the knock up, combine it with the Rengar. Vayne might not be long for this world, but we will see now if it's going to be Vigar top, Vigar bot, or Vigar support.
Yeah.
My money's on Vigar bot.
It's possible. And the Volibear with the last pick coming out here, solid top.
Oh, and it looks like it will be Vigar support.
And it's really great. I mean, you just max that E, you're looking at a 1.5 second stun AoE. It's hard to beat. But the thing out of here is, I've never seen the Aphelios lose. I mean, he's the #1 champion I banned. So there's a reason behind it.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to be. It is going to be Volibear top, Anivia mid, Udyr jungle, Vayne and Viger bot. On the blue side, we got Wukong top, Rengar jungle, Orianna mid, Aphelios AD, and Thresh support. What are your thoughts?
A lot of power coming out on both sides. A lot of power. It's one of those things where I think the first couple fights really going to dictate what happens for the rest of the match. I mean, the objective control, right? It can really go both ways. You can wall them off with the Anivia, or you can ball them off with the Orianna. It's
I gotta say right now, if Macro Gaming gets ahead, that is a scary Wombo team that we're not.
It is.
We are going to see right there.
Right, and that's what we got to focus on. Are they looking for the lane kills? Are they looking for objectives? We're going to analyze what the team ends up kind of doing here. And I think it's going to be an interesting first match. Absolutely.
All right. Before the match kicks off, we were able to get a quick side interview with one of the players before the match. Bieber Fever.
Talented man. Talented man.
Oh, we can't wait for this interview. We can't wait to show you.
With our next interviewee, we've got of Gentleman's Club. We got Beeb Fever with us. Beeb Fever, tell me how excited you are for your first game.
I want to smash. I'm really excited.
Whew, that's what we like to hear.
That's a lot of energy coming out. That's a lot of energy.
That's the most energy we've seen yet.
I know.
All right.
Absolutely.
Really?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
this
You're
is
the
our
first
second
interview,
interview.
too.
Hell yeah.
No. So, big match coming up, right? You guys been preparing it all so far?
Yeah. We're actually playing literally right now.
Oh, fantastic. All right. All right. Any insight to any other teams you've played so far, especially your first matchup? Any insight into them?
Nothing I know about. Some guy messaged me saying macro gaming's really good, and that's really the only one I've really, I guess, cared about.
That's
So
the second time we've heard good things about macro gaming. Right
it's
now.
it's
It'll
gonna
be
be a
interesting to see.
Tough team to beat. Tough team to beat. So we're gonna have to bring the A game in here.
Oh, right.
I really,
what would you
really want to smash.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
That's what we want to see. What would you say your strengths are as a team as a whole?
Let's see, what are we good at? Probably, dude. That's like an interview for a job kind of question.
Right? It's a loaded question.
Probably our jungler. He's really, really good at like macro and like making calls and stuff like that. Whereas like the rest of us are really just focused on our lane. So he'll kind of like he'll basically do all the work, just point us where to go, and then we go.
All right. Looks like he's pulling the strings. All right.
know.
That's what we,
That's
hey,
pretty
nothing wrong
good.
with that, though. Nothing wrong with having one voice and having everyone follow.
This is true.
Right.
Now
It's much. Yeah, I wouldn't want to shut call. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
it's true. It's true. Now we have an unofficial quote here from somebody in the league that said, "I could still go not AD Nami and clap you mid." What do you have to say about that?
Good fucking luck.
Oh!
Snap. Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, I got
Okay.
If only someone actually said that.
Yep. Unofficial quote in the league by somebody. So,
And that can
AD Nami.
One,
AD
one, of, one
Nami.
of many unofficial quotes by Chase.
of course. Of course. I mean, that's a
You got me
perfect
fired
league.
up with. They didn't even say that, and I'm all fired up now.
That's what
right?
we're here for. That's what
Ooh.
we're here for. We got to get that
Ooh,
energy going.
That's right. It's right. I mean, you see the mentality coming
All right.
off of you. You know you want
We're
this.
talking for a little bit. Would you describe yourself as an emotional player? You feed off emotions. You like positive emotions. You like being in there. Aggressive.
That's it. So.
All
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
That's what we like to see.
Absolutely. Now, you're coming out there. You're looking for kills, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna see a lot of action in the mid lane.
Oh,
here.
and
We
we're
gotta keep
excited
the
for
spotlight
that.
on him. Yeah.
Oh my God! Thank you for taking the time to join us, Beeb Fever, and we will see you soon on the Rift.
Absolutely.
Hell
We'll
yeah.
see
I'm
you
excited.
Oh,
I'm so
we're excited
now.
too.
there. Oh, there we
All
go.
right,
Yeah.
let's
Watch
go.
out for that AD Nami. It might come at some point.
Yeah, your cheeks are getting clapped, kid.
Yeah.
Let's be real. It's gonna crush me.
There
It's
you
AD
go.
Nami, dude.
There you go.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
All right, here we go. Queuing into our first game, Macro Gaming versus Gentleman's Club. How excited are you, Chase?
On a scale 1 to 8, 8.
All
And
right.
here we are launching
The
off.
first seconds of the SLS. Who could be more excited? All right. Looks like pretty coordinated starts for both teams here. We're going to see a topside start on the red team, and it looks like we're just going for a straight blue invade on the blue team. Probably just going to trade vision. Not going to hit each other.
Yeah, I wouldn't look for anything too serious kind of going on right now. Each team kind of hoping that, maybe the other team's there or whatever. But here we are.
Oh, is it possibly a Nivea support in Viger mid? But judging by the fact that mid lane is playing Viger.
Yeah,
oh,
right. I
goodness.
mean, this is
I was
kind
not,
of what we got going
not
on.
expecting that, but
Either one of them, honestly, scales pretty good. Viger might have to take a little bit
yeah.
longer to get
Oh,
there,
hey,
but
it's
the damage is
it's
there.
a classic combo, like from season 1. Vayne, Anivia.
Yeah.
Put the wall up, easy
Condemn
condemns.
'em right in
now,
there. It's
do they have the coordination to pull that off? It remains to be seen.
I hope so. What I'm kind of looking for is the old classic, is the Twitch and the Cassiopeia. That is a classic one. You don't really see too much. I mean, you can just proc right off the poison from Cassiopeia. I love it.
What about Cassiopeia? Is that Cassiopeia? What are we talking about Cassiopeia?
In Twitch.
In Twitch?
Yeah. You didn't know about that?
I did know that, but I don't see how it's relevant to Anywho, we're going to see pretty standard starts here. Red side starting off on their blue, and blue side starting off on their red.
Yeah, easy jungle pathing for both of them. Not really too much pressure or anything to worry about. So far, you're just going to have a nice, quick, easy farming here on both sides.
Right. Still no advantages to be seen so far. How do you feel about these matchups top? I feel like Volibear might have a little bit of the edge over the Wukong in the early game.
Possibly. I mean, absolutely. I'm kind of more focused on what the bot lane's going to be right now. I mean, Vayne has a hard
getting some
time
pretty decent
early game.
chunks out
That's
here.
a known fact. Aphelios just has...
Benji doing a
the
really
life-
good job of spacing against the minion wave here, putting a decent amount of pressure on. Oh, but a nice Q and an auto there. Gonna have a decent trade. Oh, and it looks like, predictably, the Viger is getting shoved in by the Orianna. Orianna has a massive advantage at that in the early game with her passive, with her Q, with her W. Really easy for her to shove those minion waves right into Viger's face.
Yeah, I mean, but as long as you get those Q stacks, really, what does it matter in the end?
Ooh, but a decent amount of damage being taken onto the Wukong. Wukong's gonna need a little more items and a little more levels before he's able to fully combat that Volibear. Volibear just looking to tank it up this game. A fairly decent showing, though, by the red side bot lane. They're taking a pretty decent punishment, but they're trading it back pretty decently onto the support.
Yeah, it's one of those things you can just kind of do. Like, you hit me, I'll hit you back type thing. Who comes out in the end? It's going to be a couple potions just burning on each side, and that's when we'll start really seeing the fights going down after that.
Oh, junglers are converging on the top side. Let's see if the camera pans over to that. Doesn't look like it. Looks like Udyr will get control of that scuttler. Let's see. And top lane, once again, Volibear with the pretty decent CS lead. Got a short little 7 CS lead at the start. See if that has any room to grow. Bot lane, however. Bot lane is still looking pretty decent for the Vayne. Has a decent CS advantage. Now there's more minions on for blue side to pick up, for the Aphelios to pick up, so we could see that equalize very soon.
Yeah, it's something like this where you're pretty much just waiting on for the jungler to make a move in a scenario. It's which one goes first, and pretty much whatever one ends up ganking the lane, you're going to just notice pretty much the objective taken down the
Not
other
a lot of
side.
gank opportunities for the Rengar early. The only angles I see are maybe from bot side. Oh, and it looks like we are going to have a gank coming in by a good flash by Benji there. Oh, and a nice hook. Can they trade some damage onto this Udyr? Looks like a whole lot of nothing, and a good chunk onto the Vayne. Thresh loses his flash, but a pretty decent trade back by the blue side. And a really good preemptive flash by Thresh, understanding his limits and what's going to kill him.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a preemptive move, and you know you got to do it just to not give up that lead regardless of what's going on.
Alright, and Rengar in the jungle farming away. We're probably going to see that right up to level 6. His early gank's not the strongest unless he has lanes to set himself up.
Yeah, and I wonder what's going to happen in the solo lanes here. I mean, are we going to see a level 6 power spike fight, or what do you think?
I can't really say. It depends on if they want to converge onto objectives like Dragon or Rift Herald. I can easily see either team having an advantage at the Dragon.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's absolutely true. Absolutely true. I mean, in with the Mountain Dragon, nothing too crazy going on. It's a nice little armor and magic resist for a couple champions.
Hammer went a little lazy there. All right, right back into the action. And we are going to see that Volibear building up a nice steady CS lead over the Wukong. But the Wukong just gracefully, slightly losing this lane, playing to jungle pressure, and honestly doing a pretty good job of it. Ooh, and the nice setup by the Aphelios. Oh, and that Anivia is not long for this world. Into the egg form. Will we see first blood here? And that'll be first blood going over to the Aphelios. Bertold Hoover with the first kill of the SLS. Exciting stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a nice pick that you get C, and the change CC just follows up. It's a situation like that where there's just nothing you can do.
And honestly, a perfect set of guns by the Aphelios. Got the long range one along with the one that gives you the snare.
Yeah, and that's why I banned that champion. I mean, his utility is just so incredible. It's hard to match it.
Ooh, and we have Udyr caught out. We are going to see his flash burn.
Oh my goodness, what a nice predict.
What a monster. Donate the kill over to the Rengar, and that is going to lead right into the first dragon of the SLS.
And that is a beautiful read by Benji. He knew that he was trapped in here. He only had one option out, and he had that option covered for him.
Beautiful, beautiful Thresh play. A perfect preemptive strike. Maybe a little telegraphed by the Udyr, but he didn't have a lot of options left to him.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you get a quick 2-0 start here. You're getting your first dragon. Things are looking good. I mean, if you're the red team here, you either look for try to get another pick to force something, or just keep farming it up.
Not looking good for the red team early. I honestly would give the scaling advantage to the blue side, and if red team can't pick this up soon, sure, they have damage scaling, but if you're going to have a Wukong and a Rengar dive in that backline, it is not long for this world.
Yeah, but, I mean, I think you're sleeping on the Valkyrie. That thing, the Event Horizon, I mean, it's just not
really going to be up
task to get over.
Really going to be up to proper implementation of that E for decent zone control. And with the Anivia as well, their zone control might be enough to prevent hard engages, but looks like we're going to see a flash out of this Orianna, holding the flash, a little bit greedy. Is it warranted? All right. Oh, and a beautiful turnaround ultimate by the Orianna. Not going to lead to much, though. No damage to follow that up. Oh, but Rengar, feeling frisky, going in, had the support from the Thresh, and it's a whole lot of nothing mid lane.
Yeah, a whole lot of sums burned. That's really kind of all we were looking for. All on each side, flash on each side.
That is true. Flash gone for red side top laner and for the Orianna mid. So, would not be surprised to see another repeat gank to that mid lane anytime soon. And honestly, that roam put Wukong right back into the game. Shot himself ahead in CS, and that's not a position this Volibear wants to be in. Flashless against a Wukong who's starting to get his Gore Drinker. Not where he wants to be.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you hate when he gets that item because then he's just so strong and you can't take him. But I think Volibear is one of those champions. He just has so much health. I mean, the guy just doesn't die.
Ooh, and a beautiful gank by the Rengar. Misses the Bola, and that was the difference between a kill and survival. But with that Viger flashless, that man is a sitting duck for the next repeat gank. And with Orianna ult on the horizon, it's any moment before that Rengar repeats.
It really is.
Rengar's popping up on the Herald. Will he steal it? Who did it go over to? It looks like red side, if I had to guess. And I don't know if Rengar wants this fight.
No, I mean,
I don't know if Rengar wants this fight, but it looks like Orianna comes in for the proper support. Oh, we got the Thresh coming in. Going for the flash hook onto the leader. That's going to be another kill going on to the mid laner. And this Thresh, it came to play today.
He really did. I mean, you get the Rift Herald. There's a brief overcommitment there where they thought there was going to be a bigger fight than there actually was. And you get in a scenario.
Oh, and this Viger. Will he survive? Is the damage there? And it looks like just enough CC on the red side to save his life. But a great, great fish by the Thresh. This man is balling out today.
He really is. And he just doesn't die. I mean, this is the second time we've seen him with nothing for HP. That's gonna tilt you a little bit if you're on the blue side here.
For sure, for sure. And both ADs on both sides scaling up quite well. Oh, that Orianna
That's a
is
good
not
pick
going to
right there.
survive
Yeah.
at all. A really, really nice timed roam by the top laner.
Seriously, and now you have the rift power here. I mean, you're looking to pick up a couple plates if you set this thing off. Orianna's not getting back into lane. Rengar's nowhere near to rotate right now. You're just going to get some free plates.
Yeah, we could see 2, 3, maybe even 4 plates depending on how hard they commit to this. But really, really good play to get them some semblance of back into this.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, and they're committing the TP here. So Orianna's not going to have that for the next fight.
Rengar,
But they think they have enough to
engaged.
kill him. Rengar with the damage, and that is going to be enough to finish off the Volibear. Donate the kill over to the Rengar, and he is starting to get scary.
It's true. I mean, it's one of those things where the Rengar's saying, hey, listen, I'll frontline, I'll lead, just follow me. And it's been working out so far.
Right. We're going to have next dragon coming up quite shortly, and we got to imagine that blue side is going to have sheer control over that.
It's weird. I wouldn't say sheer control. The Volibear and the Udyr, they can just frontline extremely well.
And Volibear's TP is coming up, while Wukong will not have TP for this fight, which is exactly why he is recalling to make sure he is there and ready for the fight. Oh, he cancels his recall. A little greedy by the Wukong when he has a TP disadvantage. So we will see how this shapes up bot lane. Dragon coming up any second now. But it looks like not much going on. Udyr looking to see what he can do against
Whoa,
this
what
Wukong
happened? A
up top
solo
here.
kill in the
Whoa! Trade kills
A
going on
trade
mid.
kill. Wow.
Where was that? And if only we had a cameraman.
Well, it's one of those things you just got to give them the benefit of the doubt
Dang.
over there.
Oh, right at the red side turret. Just trading blows left and right, and honestly, that's just more good news for the Viger. Just trying to survive. Down almost event horizon. Double CS on the Orianna over the Viger. Any kills he can get are more than welcome.
Yeah, I mean, you're struggling with the CS there.
All right.
But you're
Oh,
getting some
we might have a
kills.
smite fight here. This Udyr is looking to play, but he is going to get zoned off. Is he just going to go for the AD? That is not the kind of AD you want to fight with
No.
those guns. Oh, Volibear coming in from the side. I don't think Rengar
nice
is making it out of
shot.
this. Can he? Oh my word! He is dip dodge diving, but he cannot escape. And that's going to be 2 kills given over for the dragon with no real response by the blue side.
But yeah, I mean, you get the dragon. You get the little bit of extra damage. Sure, you lost 2 kills, but in this early game situation here, it pays off.
Their
It really
Viger
does.
is starting to get big. Though that CS differential is pretty much going to set their goal at near even. Probably still a decent advantage for the Orianna.
Yeah, I mean, Orianna's just one of those champs. Never falls off. Never. I mean, you can go 0-12 and you still have an impact on the game.
Oh, and Orianna using that W, using that E to get out safely. And this Volibear makes you think who really is the jungler on their team. That man has ganked mid more than the jungler has. And a beautiful condemn out
and
by the
almost
Vayne.
there,
And
yes.
that will force both Sums out of the Aphelios. And that makes him a sitting duck bot lane. Expect to see more pressure coming down here. But with the Thresh back here, can they threat? I don't think they can even threaten this tower at all. They're just
No.
going to have to soak EXP and wait for help to arrive.
Yeah,
If he
I mean,
walks
you
up
pull
at all,
both
he's going to
the
get
Sums.
burst down.
You pull both the Sums bot lane, but the top lane is really where the pressure's at right here. You're going to have to send something to rotate.
All right.
Wukong is just taking the tower. He's
It
pushing
looks
the
like
second tier
they're just
tower.
playing for bot lane to just gracefully lose right now. They're really playing up the top side, really trying to fight that Udyr wherever they can. And Wukong really starting to flex his muscles up top lane.
Yeah, he's becoming the powerhouse we knew he would be.
Oh, and I come to my attention, we appear to have missed a solo kill top lane. So that is not what we want to see, but what are you going to do? First game jitters, we'll get there.
It happens. Sometimes these players just take matters into their own hand. We don't even have the time to react.
All right, and I would say we got a little over a 3K gold lead on the blue side. Oh, and it looks like it's getting even more. The Vayne already dead. The Anivia
Wow.
double kill for the Aphelios. And oh my god, 3-0 Aphelios for 15 minutes. No team wants to see that.
No, like I said, I hate that.
Oh, the ultimate onto the Vigor. Does he have the ability to get out?
Oh, a nice little jump over.
Beautiful.
Seriously, as long as you make that commitment, I mean, you're going over. You had the ward there, you had the vision. The flash does nothing. I mean, of course, you can't predict that there's a ward, but he tried. He tried, and unfortunately, the Rengar could just follow him regardless of any movement there.
But honestly, this is looking like more and more one-sided by the second. Macro Gaming, really having their name ring true this game. They have beautiful map control of this game, and their solo plays are honestly what's winning them the game.
It is. I mean, they've had a couple solo kills. We've seen a trade mid. I think that this still could kind of go any way, to be honest with you.
I vastly disagree with that. Oh, and it looks like Anivia got absolutely ransacked bottom lane. If only we knew what happened. But what are you gonna do? It looks like this Vayne is trying to farm safely, but Wukong might have other ideas. Does he commit? Looks like he's just waiting for Vayne to push up. Will Vayne take the bait? Doesn't look like it.
No, she wants to go bad.
80 carry sees farm, 80 carry take farm. But she's going to wait for the wave to bounce far enough back, and Wukong also has enough patience to spare here.
He does. I don't think the invisibility and an E dash gets you over there, but let's see.
Oh, and it looks like Vayne is going to make the smart play and recall. But what is Wukong looking to do here? Just placing some vision down, going to catch the wave, and nothing much going on there.
Yeah, just pick up some extra farm, get a little bit more ahead. It was worth the wait. You missed a wave or two, but you got some room to spare.
All right, here. Now, that gold advantage we were talking about earlier, up to 5k on the blue side at 17 minutes. That is a hard number to overcome. With both dragons, too, there's not a lot that Gentleman's Club can play for here.
Yeah, it's a tough start. It is, but you got to start thinking, what's the way to get back into the game when I'm in a situation like this? And really, it's just looking for picks. Although blue side does have the ability to, I think, get some picks a little bit harder, it's still there for the Gentleman Club.
Oh, definitely, for sure. Got Anivia stun, you got Valkyrie, there's plenty of tools for them to come back in this game. But it looks like they're going to get pressure on mid lane in exchange for this dragon. There is no need for them to force the fight here. Looks like Benji's getting caught out. They do not want to take this fight. They got a numbers disadvantage. Oh my god! The Rengar going in on top of the Orion ult. But is this really the fight they want? That numbers disadvantage. Can the Wukong get their salvage? It looks like it's going to be a huge win for Gentleman's Club. Wukong sitting on a ward. Does he feel confident? I would not if I were him. Looks like he is just going to get walked right on out. And another good trade of kills by Gentleman's Club. Oh, and the Volibear took the wrong path. Will it matter? Does not look like it. Volibear will walk out just fine. This Vayne getting a little frisky, but she is just perfectly safe.
And remember what I was saying. I mean, I was saying it's still anyone's game. You can't sleep on the Volibear health. I mean, the guy can just frontline.
Indecisive movements by Macro Gaming. Splitting calls between pushing mid and kind of almost trying to fight the dragon at the same time. They got caught out in a rotation that they did not want. But at the end of the day, really, they still get mid lane turret. They still get a ton of pressure pushing into the inhibitor. I still say, at the end of the day, Macro Gaming definitely comes out with the advantage.
Yeah, not all hope is lost on a little play like that. It's one of those things where you go, okay, they got some power, let's bunker down, or let's go on the aggressive. Let's see what we got.
Ooh, and the name of the game now is Split Push. Wukong is going to have all side lane control of this game. Got the Gore Drinker and the Hydra both queued up, built in, and he is going to be healing off everything and doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, and I wonder what the game plan is for stopping Rengar. I mean, obviously he's going for either the Anivia or the Vayne. Now, I mean, do you just shut him down? You turn all things to him?
And it looks like Aphelios is done, but the flash is going to be enough. And a beautiful use of his ultimate, beautiful use of his guns, and that will be a kill onto Macro Gaming. But Gentleman's Club will get the turret. Oh, and it looks like Volibear is not done yet.
Oh, he's not.
More disrespect coming side of Macro Gaming.
Beautiful.
Not as tanky as he thinks, and it looks like we might actually have ourselves a game here.
I think so. I mean, it's something where you just throw the Viger Event Horizon down, you just drop the Anivia ult. Anyone and stuff inside of that.
If I were
is
Macro
taking some
Gaming, I would
damage.
strongly be considering bringing the Wukong over. That looks like might be exactly what they're trying to do here. Wukong with the pincer attack here. You got the Rengar coming from the side. Who's gonna die? Someone is getting ulted, and it. Oh my!
Oh,
God,
there's the
everyone is
damage.
Dead. 3 men died, and that is going to almost certainly lead to Baron.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking
That was
here,
a
too.
beautiful tech play by the Rengar, using the flash, but in the last couple frames of his ultimate, still managing to get that off, getting the bounce on top of the Wukong ultimate, and tons of damage coming up between that Rengar, Wukong, and Orianna. Not to mention the Aphelios. This game is all but over for Gentlemen's Club.
I mean, seriously, what do you do to combat that damage that?
They got no mid lane turret, and they only have inhibitor turrets in the top and bot. Honestly, Macro Gaming could just be playing with their food right now, and they could still come out with the victory. Now, what do you say? If you were Macro Gaming, would you be running the whole team down mid to get that inhibitor, or would you go more of a 1-3-1, 1-4-0? What are you thinking here? We're putting Wukong on the split, but who else would be playing?
If I'm Macro Gaming, I throw Wukong on the split. You don't really have anyone that can match him at this point. And then you just push with the 4. I mean, if they group up, you just throw the Orianna ult on them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and it looks like they're going to be doing just that. I'm not exactly... They're clearing out vision for the dragon, but that is not on the table anytime soon. It looks like they may just group as 5 for the bot lane after they get some vision.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where they said, you
Ooh.
know what? We know our power.
They're going to put...
We know what we can take.
I
We're
like
gonna do
this.
what we
I
gotta
like
do.
this. You put Wukong in the mid lane, put the rest of them in bot. That provides way less escape avenues if the rest of their team is in bot over mid. Really smart play by Macro Gaming here to properly utilize their resources. And you got Rengar waiting in the rings, and it looks like an indecisive call by Gentlemen's Club. And Anivia is
the
going to
damage.
be destroyed.
Yeah.
That damage coming out of Wukong is just too much to handle. And that is almost certainly going to be 2 inhibitors, maybe even 3, maybe even the game.
Yeah, I think you take 2 inhibitors here, no problem. I mean, Gentlemen's Club has just got to make a last stand somewhere, but where is it going to be?
Oh, that's not going to be enough from the Wukong, but they might just take these 2 inhibitors and rotate top, or will they try to push for the end?
No, they're
Can't
going to
imagine with the
Dragon.
death time of the Nivea almost up. They have the vision cleared. They're going to be walking right over to Dragon, and there is nothing Gentlemen's Club can do to contest this.
No, you got to give it up. You got to sit there. You got to pray that you can
Right.
defend these 2.
Wukong going for the early back, has the TP queued if needed, but it looks like he's just going to waltz his way up top lane, maybe try to get that wave going, and get the final inhibitor to seal this game.
Yeah. I mean, the power spike, it just keeps rising. It keeps rising. And it keeps rising. And so far, we've seen no answer back from Gentlemen's Club.
There's a lot of power in those picks on the red side, but the problem is they get behind. They do not have the tools to get back into this game. And a really, really rough showing by the Anivia. But hey, first game jitters, we're all going to have those games.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where if you pick that Anivia move, you got to kind of either get some early kills or you got to hope for a late game scenario.
What will Gentlemen's Club do to get back into this game? They are down. They have a pretty decent vision line out, so they might be able to catch people out, but I don't think Macro Gaming is going to give them that avenue. Looks like they're just going to slowly take their time, methodically clear the vision in the top side, push up the wave, and get that last inhibitor. Udyr trying to secure the blue buff. I don't think that's going to help you too much there, buddy. That is too little, too late. With the first wave crashing, so Volibear comes and picks that up. Rest of the team just slowly clearing vision again, prepping for that next Baron. It's a ways off, but you can never be too early.
Yep.
Oh, and it looks like they almost baited them in for a fight there, but that is Viger E down. That is going to be a go signal for Macro Gaming if they so choose. Little fish by Thresh there. It didn't connect, but it doesn't matter. That damage
look at
onto
that
the vein.
damage.
Just the Orianna. And this Volibear, that is going to seal the game. He doesn't have enough to take him out. Boom!
That is incredible.
That is by far the play of the game, and that will end it.
Macro Gaming taking the first game of the SLS over Gentleman's Club in a stunning one-side victory. Oh, beautiful, beautiful first game. That's the kind of excitement we want to see.
No, seriously, I mean, that is the most perfect ultimate you can get there to finish off the game.
Woo!
Incredible.
And the Rengar leaving before the game concludes with the swag. You gotta love that.
You really do. It's all the hype these days.
All right, what do you think went wrong there for Gentleman's Club?
I mean, there's a couple things. I mean, at that point in the game, you just got to say to yourself, hey, listen, Vayne's our only hope. It's 2 items and their boots. What can we do to protect her? But in a scenario like that, you got nothing.
Well, that's the risk in first picking Vayne. They just pick super aggro picks. The Rengar, a tough pick for the Vayne. So is the Wukong. They just get on top of her and she dies. Doesn't matter if she builds shield bow, whatever. She is not going to survive that.
No, and that's something unfortunate. I mean, when you take a pick like that, it's all risk, high reward. But if you don't get there, you're left stranded in the dust.
And the Viger pick, honestly, some question marks there. A really strong pick if you can get it going. But again, another pick that's easily picked off.
Yeah, I mean, I think the heart was there. I think they had a strategy. They were kind of.
They wanted to scale, and Macro Gaming did not allow it. Not allow it at all. All right, we're going to be taking a short intermission after this while we set up for the next game, and we might even have an interview between that. Stay tuned.
of the SLS post game here. We gotta have Benji, the support from Macro Gaming.
Yeah.
Fantastic game, fantastic Thresh play. And first pick Thresh. Is that a comfort pick? That a power pick? What was your thought going with the first pick Thresh? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, fantastic.
Seriously, I mean, it looked good. I mean, it looked clean on there. We had a nice play throwing the hook
Thank you.
over into the dragon pit. I mean, it was something that got us pretty excited.
Woo.
If I do say
Best
so myself.
One of the best plays we've seen so far today. Can't go wrong with that.
I mean,
Thank
it's gonna be hard to top.
It's definitely going to be hard to
Thank
top. All right. How did you feel about lane positions going into that game? We were saying the only chance they had to win lane was maybe top lane with the Volibear, but every other lane seemed to be doing quite well.
Yeah, so when they picked their bot lane, it was pretty weak lane, and we were confident that we could just so their team scales really well, but
Mhm.
we were confident that if we played the early game towards bot side and stacked dragons, that they wouldn't have much of a chance to come back. And then our jungler had a really good gank on the Rengar to kill the Anivia early, which gave us a lot of river control.
Mhm.
And their lane doesn't have a lot of push, so we could pressure them and get wave priority and then play for early dragon.
No,
So we were pretty confident, and yeah, we felt good about how our lanes were set up.
Definitely a good strategy going in there, playing to the team's strengths. How did you feel about the showing from your opponents? How did you feel they responded? How do you feel about their picks? Anything that really surprised you?
I was surprised with the Anivia support. I thought it was actually I thought it was going to be Viger support because I think that's a little bit
That's what we were
better into
thinking too.
Thresh, since you can put the box out when I throw for a hook, and it's also better against the Rengar ulti.
Mm-hmm.
So I was surprised when they went with the Anivia because I think Anivia mid is pretty strong right now too. Besides that, I think they were just playing to scale for the late game, but I think it was a little bit hard for them because they had really weak lanes and we could pressure objectives much harder earlier. But I think given how kind of poorly the early game went for them, they definitely tried to make some picks and force some fights even when they were behind, and they didn't seem like they were playing super tilted. Like they kept trying to force fights, which is good, make a comeback. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely good for them for doing that and trying their hardest even when behind.
Yeah, they definitely did make a pretty decent effort to come back into that game, but it seemed like a little bit of too little, too late. I mean, a couple times you guys got caught out, but at that point, it was really pretty much set in stone who was going to win that game. They didn't have any answers for the Wukong or Rengar diving into the back line.
No, and it kind
Yeah.
of makes you think. What do you think would have happened if they went through with that Teemo pick?
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah,
team up
it
pick
probably
would
would have
have
been
been really OP into like maybe the Aphelios can blind him or something.
Of course, I mean the guy's got a global taunt. I mean he's hitting you for
Yeah.
your entire health bar over 3 mushrooms. I mean you can't beat
Right.
him. You can't beat him.
Yeah, that's true. You just bop kids with that pick. It's pretty OP.
It's true.
not that bad.
It's true. Now, are we gonna keep seeing Thresh from you, or you have a couple other picks?
Maybe. I think it's a well, I don't want to give away our picks, but it is a comfort pick of mine. So if it's open and it feels good for the comp, I might whip it out here and there again. Go for some more flash predictions.
Oh, I like the
All
confidence
right,
coming
all
out.
right.
Yeah.
Well, a really, really strong showing from Macro Gaming and a fantastic showing from the Thresh. If you had to say to give the MVP to that game, who are you going to give it to on your team?
Oh gosh, that's tough. I think everyone on our team played really, really well. I think our jungler he had really good map control, tracked the other jungler really well. Had some really good timely ganks and snowball early, but then also, our top did a super good job just being kind of on an island by himself. And then that Oriana ult at the end was massive. So it's really hard to pick one. I would probably give it to myself though. No, I'm just kidding. I
No,
think probably the
absolutely.
Rengar. The Rengar played really well.
I would certainly
Had
give it
some
to you
really
for
good
the
ganks
early
on
game.
snowball. Yeah,
Certainly.
thank you. But yeah, just a really good overall team performance and everyone did their job really well, and we were able to snowball and close out the game early. So
No,
Oh,
it
right.
really was. It was a good performance, I think, from both teams. One came out a little bit stronger, but this is, first game going on. This is something that we still
Yeah.
gotta wait.
Yeah.
We still gotta see where it goes from here. Of course, it's a win in the book always helps your cause. There's no doubt about that. But when they might go back, they might learn some stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
fantastic first game, Benji. Can't wait to talk to you
Thank you.
again, and good luck in the next game.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Oh, are we live? Oh, okay. We are going into the next game here. We're going to have Ashen Ascension versus, once again, Macro Gaming. And after that first showing, it's going to be a tall task to one-up that performance by Macro.
It's going to be tough, but they might have a little bit of an edge here, kind of knowing what they're getting into if they've been paying attention.
That is true. That is true. We have a little bit of scouting that possibly Ashen Ascension was able to do before this game.
Yeah, and we're gonna see if they kind of ban out some of those champions.
We're gonna see if the champion select will be very similar on the red side.
Still the Olaf ban.
Olaf ban first. We're noticing a trend here. Oh, and an Aatrox ban on the other side. Interesting.
I kind of like that. He's one of those
Aatrox
guys.
Definitely a strong pick
Can't
right
take
now.
him down.
All right. Oh, we're going for the Thresh ban. It looks like.
Wow.
All right. Please ignore the overlay at the moment. It is going to be Ashen Ascension on the blue side and Macro Gaming on the red side. And we're just going to have to go with that, I suppose. I mean, the confirmation, that's not going to change.
No, I mean, it's one of those things where it would make it too easy, you know?
That's true. We got to make sure the viewers at home are paying attention.
No, absolutely.
All right. And
the first three bans
we're going to see Olaf, Thresh, and Aphelios on the blue side. So clearly they were looking at last game and taking notes.
Yeah, I mean, King Mike, this is one of the guys that is known to just devastate the league. He's been on fire.
On fire, and he hasn't even played a game.
That's right, absolutely.
Look at that.
I mean, you don't get the name King Mike for being bad. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and looks like we're getting an update on the names here, and it still makes no sense. And there we go. It is still incorrect. It is still incorrect.
It was a valiant effort.
All right, back
part,
into the pick.
Seriously.
We're going to start out with the Jarvan pick on the blue side for Ashen Ascension. And that is a very interesting first pick. Going to be responded by the Gnar and the Nidalee. So we're going to see the strength of the Gnar this game and see if he has that split push potential in team fight that we've been hearing about.
I mean, it's one of those things where he's just great all around. I mean, you have the engage with the ult, you have the solo lane capabilities.
Ooh, a powerful bot lane coming out
really
of Ashen Ascension right there. The Caitlyn Morgana. That setup, if you get hit by a bind, you are probably going 100-0. But a pretty nice response from Macro Gaming with the Karma. Gonna have a lot of shielding, gonna have a lot of utility for her team. And
yeah. I mean, I kind of like the speed up. If you're looking for that Gnar jump engage into the Mega Gnar, you kind of get that with the Karma pick here. Plus the shield. I mean, it's incredible.
We're definitely noticing a trend with Macro Gaming as well. It appears that they are prioritizing bot pick so much that they're the last pick at every single team fight, every single game.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of know what's coming, so you do what you can to win the matchup. I mean, you got to think about it. Bot lane, right? There's two people in the lane, more chance to win. And more chance to snowball.
Clearly a point of strength for Macro Gaming. And it looks like they're just banning the super high utility top laners, making sure Gnar has a pretty easy matchup up top. But a Sivir ban and the Kai'Sa ban, leaving Jhin up here. A very questionable move by Ashen Ascension, and I would be surprised if they don't pick up that Jhin here. Also, Vayne open as well. We might see that as well. We'll have to see.
Yeah, there's a couple kind of picks that you can go from here, but I do like the Jhin that you're kind of talking about. I mean, just such a powerful champ.
And it looks like the Vayne. Oh, it looks like they don't have any time to mess around this game. And Vayne, a fairly rough pick early game against Morgana, but once you hit that late game, Caitlyn can't do anything against that Vayne. Vayne's just gonna ult on top of her and destroy her.
Yeah, I mean, Caitlyn, the damage is just, especially that poke early game, is just so good. Vayne's definitely going to have a tough time, but that's kind of where the Karma comes in. You're able to shield, you're able to pick up a couple extra farm that you wouldn't be able to normally.
And rough synergy on that Jarvan, up against the Gnar and the Vayne. That terrain is not going to be the friend of their team this game up.
Now, here's the thing. I actually kind of like that pick. The J4 Orianna, it's a beautiful combo we've seen many times.
That is true. Super simple to
drop
execute.
The flag, jump over onto it, and Orianna just kind of ults everybody in there, followed up by the J4 ult.
Oh, and the Camille pick. A lot of strong picks coming out of Ashen Ascension. Super strong lanes.
Yeah, to be honest with you here, just based
Hmm.
on the champion select alone, I'm kind of leaning more towards an Ashen Ascension.
Oh, but we'll
on
see.
this one.
We still have a mid pick here, and honestly, with a team like this, I don't know what they're going to pick. We're going to go for a control mage. We're going to go for an assassin, and oh, it appears to be Karma mid. I don't know why I didn't see that one coming, but oh my god! And it looks like we are going to see a Vayne hyper carry game. Double shield going on top of the Vayne. We got the heal from Nami, the E from Nami, absolute steroids. You got the heal from Nidalee. It looks like we're just going to ask Vayne, hey, we're going to take our hands off the keyboard. You carry this game.
Yeah, until you realize that it's the 80 Nami that we've been talking about. And you really don't stand a chance at that point.
Maybe one day we'll see the 80 Nami. I doubt that is today. But a lot of picks that can get on top of the Vayne. That, in particular, the Camille pick is going to be a super hard pick for Vayne to deal with. Now, she does have the E to knock her out of her ultimate, but if Camille plays that right and they just layer CC on top of that Vayne, she is going to have a rough going of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, the survivability, it's there. You're looking at a double heal with the shield.
Yeah.
They really push it on her.
If they
I mean,
kite
she's
properly
gonna
and
be
play this
okay.
game out properly, I gotta say that either team could win this game easily.
Oh, of course. We always want to think that going into some games.
All right. Well,
So, what do you think so far? I mean, we've seen some great moves by Macro Gaming. You think they're going to follow the same format, kind of maybe
Well-
a pick or two here? Let's rush the objectives. Let's take it down. Let's take control
Well-
of the map.
honestly, I don't feel that they have the same amount of agency they did last game. I'm not sure if they have the same tools. They do have a stronger early game jungler in the Nidalee that can put some pressure onto the J4. It really depends on who gets tempo first and who can get those objectives. Now, I gotta say, either team late game, it's gonna be a coin flip as who plays it better, but it's on either team can snowball. I'm really liking the Caitlyn Morgana over the Vayne Nami early game.
Yes.
But we'll still see. Nami is still a champion that can hold the Vayne through her laning phase, and that's all
No.
they're looking to do.
Seriously, I mean, it's one of the things. Right, the heals. I mean, if you got the heals like that, it kind of negates the headshot
Really?
Caitlyn poke.
Really tough pick top lane with the Gnar versus
The Camille,
the Camille,
yeah.
that
I mean,
is
the
going to be
Camille
a
has the damage
rough.
that Nar just cannot top. It's one of those things that's just not easy.
Okay, and before we go into the next game, we had an interview coming up with Tommy Two Time, which I believe, if I'm remembering correct, is the mid laner for Ashen Ascension.
You would be correct, absolutely.
All right, now let's play that one right now.
All
Right, so here we are with the mid laner for Ashen Ascension, Tommy Two Time. Tommy, how excited you are to be a part of your first game in the SLS? What are you looking forward to?
I'm pretty excited actually. Taking a pretty decent break from competitive actually for about 6 months or so, and in the time being, played a lot of solo queue, but I really missed the competitive setting, so I'm excited to get back into things.
That's
All
good.
right.
Now, do you think playing all that solo queue made you a better player?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There was actually a couple instances where I got some like one-on-one coaching, and I think that's really what helped me develop. What helped me develop part of my
All right,
skills,
what do you feel some strengths of your team are going into this?
going into this. I think the strengths of our team is our macro sense. We have like 2 people that are very vocal and another like 1 or 2 that are like less talkative, so there's not too much cluster in the comm setting, so
Okay.
we're pretty easy to determine what to do. Now, whether or not we actually listen to those calls as 5 is
True. This is true.
is-
What happens.
is depend on the day, but
Yeah.
I'd say the macro sense, and then also everyone has the ability to perform and show up when they're needed to, so that's what I would say.
That's great news. Now, a lot of teams out there, they follow the motto, win lane, win game. Is that also something you guys abide by?
Yeah.
What team wouldn't?
I don't want
abide
to give
by that?
anything away.
Right.
Come
No,
on.
no, because as a player, I prefer the minds or the play style of basically don't take too many forced fights, farm up, and then win the game through like 1 or 2 major team fights. So I'm not someone that's personally trying to pressure every advantage, which can also be like a downfall. But I would say our bot lane definitely has that idea. They love to play really aggressive early stuff and then get a kill or two and then just snowball from there.
Right.
Whereas I like to play like control mages, not so much like assassins or or assassins. So I would say the 2 side lanes definitely love that idea. I'm more of the level-headed and let the game go how I want it. But
All right, nothing
absolutely,
wrong with that.
absolutely.
All right. On the note of this matchup coming up, how have scrims been going, and have you managed to scrim macro gaming at all? And what are your, if so, what are your impressions?
we have not scrimmed macro gaming. We have a pretty limited schedule, so when we do scrim, we don't really have a ton of options. A lot of our scrims have been actually like Ashen teams. There's about 4 or 5 other Ashen teams, so we've been scrimming a lot of them, as well as a few teams from like other orgs and previous leagues that we played in. As for macro gaming, we haven't heard a lot about them, just that they have a really strong top lane and a really strong bot lane, I think is what they said. So again, the 2 solo lanes. And also I looked at their OPGGs, and their mid laner looks really solid too. So I don't have a lot to say off of them, but I think it'll be good.
All right.
And so the unofficial quote is that they can pick Ivern and still beat your team. You think that has any weight to it?
I think that's pretty fair argument. Ivern's pretty busted right now. I don't know.
Okay. We'll wrap this one up now. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you in action on the Rift.
Absolutely.
Later, guys. No
Later.
problem.
Thank you.
The second matchup of the day, Ashen Ascension versus Macro Gaming, and we're going to see if Macro Gaming can pull off a performance much like the first one.
Yeah, and we've never seen a 2-0 start here before, so it would be
We've
something.
never
if
seen
they
any
can't.
start before.
That is vaguely true.
All right, both teams getting in on the Rift here, and who are you liking in the early game, Chase?
Like I said, I mean, I still think, you're King Mike for a reason. You're going to dominate the board.
It's true. That is true. And honestly, I'm looking at a lot of volatility top lane here. That can swing either way. Whoever gets the advantage can snowball it, and that Camille is a threat.
Yeah, she is. I mean, you got the lane presence. You can just jump across pretty much the whole lane with that thing. It's incredible. You can't be ganked. The aggressiveness is there because you know just how much range she has.
If that Gnar gets behind and can't properly space, that Camille is going to have him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That Camille will eat mini form alive, but we will see if Gnar can weather the storm and combat her in the side lane push. But they gotta say, though, on the side of Macro Gaming, they are putting so many eggs into the Vayne basket. And with the amount of CC coming out of Ashen Ascension, I don't know if that's going to be a wise move.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you notice that CC and you pick Cleanse as your summoner spell, and that's exactly what Vayne ended up doing.
Yeah, we got the Cleanse heal coming out of the bottom lane. Clearly an effort to survive. Not looking to get advantages unless they come to them. A really smart move by Macro Gaming, knowing their limits and knowing that they might just have to scale into the late game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But, what we heard from that interview with Tommy Two Time is he has faith in this team. He believes that they can get it done.
Which is always a good position to be in. A little late by the heal coming out of, looks like a fight going on top.
Some aggressive damage
and
going out here.
Looks like a pretty
Even
even trade, but my goodness, it does not take a lot from the Camille to deal damage. She is such a powerful pick at all stages in the game.
Absolutely. I mean, Think about it. She's the only champion in the entire game that has a physical damage shield. It just shows that she can do it all.
Well played by the Gnar surviving so far. A little bit of a health advantage, but that can change at any moment. Oh, Gnar is feeling
very
confident.
aggressive.
Really confident by the Gnar. Misses the Q, and that is going to be huge.
Oh,
but Lily coming for the game,
snap.
and he will. Oh,
Wow.
Fear connects, still flashes. The Nidalee finishes him off. Oh, super well-baited fight by the Gnar, and a great finish by the Nidalee. And half second away from flashing away by the
Yeah, I mean, that's a good gank. Both junglers making their way to top lane at pretty much the same time. That J4 was just a couple seconds behind. And because of that, it results in a kill with really
Oh, that is
no
that
default.
is a huge position by the Gnar here. Any advantage they can get. Oh, and a beautiful sidestep by the Karma. That'll prevent her from using any summoners, and we'll get out of there unscathed. And 2 ganks, 2 different stories in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just keep ganking, see what we got, if you can pick something up outside of here.
Oh, and what are you gonna do? Bot lane, simple freeze going on. Not a lot going on. All they want to do is scale. They're just gonna keep that wave there as long as they can.
Oh, a nice bind.
Nami getting bound
This
up.
might be it.
That might be enough. Are they gonna flash?
There
Oh,
it is.
yes.
A nice pick off
And
by
that
Caitlyn.
is the power of the Caitlyn and the Morgana. The amount of CC that comes out after one bind and the amount of damage.
Yeah. I mean, the damage is immense. You throw a Morgana bind on there, you just throw a Caitlyn trap. That's going to be an instant damage that you got.
That is going to be a bit of a trouble spot for the bot lane. If that Caitlyn gets too far ahead, that Vayne is going to be choked right out of the lane. But it looks, but what I want to see now is the top lane. The top lane is going to be the biggest point of contention, and if this Gnar gets any more of an advantage, this Camille is not going to be able to survive.
I think the Gnar already has the advantage that he needs. It's just, does he hold it?
Mm-hmm. No, most definitely. And he is doing a great job of controlling this wave. It's all coming into him, and this Camille has to watch as most of this wave dies. With the Mega Gnar here, misses the W, but still looking for a trade. Q hits the minions. He is still feeling confident in this. Knows he can out-damage him shot for shot. And we go back to the bot lane here where not a lot's going on. Gnar back in mini form, just going to farm up these minions. Keep throwing the poke out with the Q. And doing whatever the heck he wants top lane.
Yep, I think the next big play that we kind of end up seeing here isn't really a solo kill or anything.
Camille.
Oh,
Camille with the
aggressive.
aggression. And I don't think she wants that. Gnar's going to be going in.
Oh,
my
my
God. The
goodness.
turnaround.
That's why
Knowing
they call
his
him
limits.
King Mike.
Knowing his limits, King Mike there, and a little aggressive by the Gnar. Could have auto-spaced that a little bit better. But what are you going to do? And that is the only advantage they had. Almost going down the drain there.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things, right? You lose the vision in the bush. It looked like it was over for Camille there, but no. King Mike says, listen, you're on my ground. I got you.
Mm-hmm. But we got it. We got the TP coming in from Gnar. Going to get a lot of that pressure back. Going to be responded most likely by the TP from Camille. We'll see both TPs going down really early. And we'll see if Camille's itching to fight with that Sheen. Alright.
And a nice sheen on that, like you were saying.
Quick CS check right now. We got small advantage, or decent advantage in the mid lane by Tommy 2-Time. And a decent advantage for the Caitlyn over that Vayne, which we expected. That Gnar still has a pretty decent amount of power right now, and we'll see if he's able to flex that against this Camille. Going in for the ultimate, misses the wallbang, but it might be enough. We got the Nidalee coming in from the wings, and the spear going in, and another kill donated to the Nidalee. And if I'm Gnar, I'm all chatting KS and AFKing.
Yeah, I mean, that's just something where you said, listen, I did this all by myself, and you just took that from me.
Yeah. If that were me, I would terminate the contract with the org and sign with Ashen at this point.
Yeah, it's really all you can do. But, I mean, Ashen's just going to take the dragon. They know where the enemy jungler is. Really can't contest in a scenario like that.
Oh, and if you're Camille here, you're wondering, where is my jungler? Getting dragon? Not a bad trade, but this advantage top lane is ballooning for Gnar. Doubles the CS of the Camille. Gave up a kill back, but It's all going right for this Gnar right now. Has complete control of the lane and doesn't look to change anytime soon.
No, I think the game plan is kind of, hey, hang in there. Let's try to snowball some other lanes. I can't help you right now.
Oof. That Gnar getting plates, getting whatever he wants. He is looking massive. Absolutely massive. Checking in on the CS. Looks like mid lane's evening out. So is the jungle. And that CS lane lead is getting just slightly bigger in the bot lane. But Vayne is more than happy to farm that one out and safely get to late game. And hopefully that Gnar and Nidalee can carry him there.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta have a blue buff contest by the Nidalee. And a little too late to contest that. Oh, but it looks
And they're
like blue
closing in
side
on
is
them.
looking for a collapse here. The mid laner for the
That's a
macro
lot
is
of
nowhere to be
damage
found,
coming
and
out.
that is an easy kill onto the Gnar. A bit of over-aggression where they did not have the numbers. You got to be communicating with your mid laner on the back timers. You do not want to have your Karma backing and invading their jungle when you have about 4 people off the map.
No, I just think it was one of those things where they thought they could either pick J4 quick and kind of get out of there, or they were going to steal the buff and leave, but like you were saying, a little too much time spent there, and they paid for it.
Another instance of over-aggression by the Gnar. Gets the lead and doesn't exactly know what to do with it. Thinks he has more power than he does, but there's still a lot of game to play, a lot of recovery to be had, and this Nidalee is still just as strong as she was before that fight.
Yeah, a small pick like that, I'm not really too worried about it being a game changer for really anyone at this point. Still, like you're saying, a lot of game left to go, and I'm excited.
Most definitely. And once again, this Vayne surviving, not thriving, just looking to, once again, get through this laning phase, but this Caitlyn has complete control, as you would expect. Just waiting for this wave to crash in, and we'll see how Vayne can see us under this turret. Oh, looks like we got red side here, going for scuttle control. They might translate this advantage into an early rift. Would not surprise me. Would help Gnar out, get some more plate gold onto him, and hopefully, that lead he still has, he can snowball it even further.
Yeah, I think before they make a commitment like that, they're kind of waiting until they have ideal vision of where J4 is. Once they know that, they can commit to something.
Oh, we're going to have a fight coming in top lane here. Going in. Ultimate already used by the Gnar, and another good trade by the Gnar. That is almost certainly going to force a Camille back. Getting the ward out. Understands the pressure that might be coming. This Gnar is getting bigger and bigger. But a good buy out of the Camille with those plated steel caps. Going to be cutting down a lot of the damage that Gnar originally had. Oh, Nidalee getting caught out a little bit, but J4 messing up his combo a little bit, going a little bit for damage, not for the CC. And it looks like we're still going to have an advantage on the red side after that.
Yeah.
Oh, bot lane! A trade of kills going in bot lane. That is massive for the side of Macro Gaming. Vayne gets a kill, always worth it over the Caitlyn. We're going to see that scaling come into the late game, and really surprising and aggressive play.
Damage from J4.
Oh, the J4 damage, but the clutch shield by the Karma. Looks like the Nidalee is going to survive. Now the Karma's in trouble. Gnar coming in, and J4 causing havoc, getting flashes, and doing his job. My word. That was a huge display of power by that J4.
It
a lot
was.
of damage coming out.
I mean, that combo alone almost one-shot the Nidalee. It's damage like that where you just don't expect it. You think to yourself, I'm an aggressive jungler on Nidalee. I got some mobility. I'm going to kind of go where I want. I think that takes a little bit of the power away, and you're going to see a more conservative playstyle come in here.
All right. What item do you think we're going to see coming out of this Vayne first? I got my money on a shield bow. Oh,
I'm
pause
going
that
to
real
say
quick.
Kraken.
We got a fight possibly coming in top here, but I don't think any of them want it with Gnar's Mega Form coming up. No, Camille's just going to walk out of there, pick up some honey fruit, and J4 is going to go right back into the jungle. They know not to mess with this Gnar right now.
Yeah, he's a big boy, even without Mega Gnar.
Oh, but it looks like they haven't learned the lesson. Gnar is going in, but maybe Gnar bit off more than he can chew, and it looks like it will be the case. The hubris of this Gnar is too great, and he once again will overcommit and die. Man, you really hate to see that. Performing so well, but being in the wrong place at the wrong time at crucial moments.
Yeah, and you almost gotta feel bad for him. I mean, this Camille each time is living with like 20 HP.
And
It's just so close.
once again, I hark back to the steel caps buy that Camille. A very smart buy. Really cuts into a lot of the DPS Gnar can do early game.
Yeah, we got a pretty even matchup here in the mid lane so far.
Looking at gold, though, bang on even. Hardly a discrepancy, but it looks like we're going to even the dragon score here unless Ascension can come in and contest it. And it looks
Okay,
we're gonna have
I kinda like
we're gonna
what we
have
got
TPs
going
coming
on.
from both sides. Good ult by Nominate's Kite, and who will get the smite? Finished by the Vayne of all people, and it looks like both teams are going to walk it out. Not a lot of pressure, but the J4 coming in from the side. Boom! The ultimate 3-man into the Orianna.
Tommy two times
Dead.
with a huge ultimate to
And
finish it off.
it looks like the Nidalee not long for this world. The flash by the Camille.
Wow.
Another kill coming in.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at that fight. It's starting to look pretty good for Macro Gaming, but Ashen Ascension, J4 just comes around the back, splits them off immediately. They have to take their losses there.
And no flashes on the Nidalee or the Karma really made it easy for that J4 to get all that pressure down. That Karma was not long for this world. Does not have the AP to shield through that yet.
No, but it is coming. It is coming. Like you were saying, it's really the Vayne they're looking for here. If they can keep her to survive her from the initial burst they got going on, they might have themselves a game.
And that Gnar is falling fast. We had a beautiful advantage mid-game. Already 4 kills at 13 minutes. You really hate to see it. Just a little bit of over-aggression can cost you in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it really can, but it's like you got to sometimes take it just to snowball that inch you have.
Both junglers with a very strong showing this game. A slight edge to the J4. Playing super well with his team, and his utility early is just going to be far more valuable than what Nidalee can provide. Oh, and it looks like a gank showing up on the top lane here. Will Gnar bite? Feels something is up. Is J4 going to use that rift here, or is he going to drop it mid? Looks like he's going to hold on to it for now. Gonna go clear his jungle. Nothing going on top. Got Nidalee shadowing the Gnar. A great idea. See if Camille is getting a little over aggressive. Can't quite bait it in. Camille feels something is up. Nothing's gonna happen here. And everyone just goes back doing their thing. But an aggressive E forward by the Gnar. And Camille still has to respect the damage Gnar is putting out.
Yeah, we might end up seeing a rift here mid lane. I mean, they know the Karma's backing. But looks like we're just moving over to Raptor camp.
Yeah. Interesting play. I mean, do they want to break mid this early? I would imagine it would be a great advantage, and they don't really have the rotations to cover it, but looks like J4 is just going to slowly path down to this bot side, maybe try to make a play through the lane.
Yeah, we got a little action going on top and bot. Both
Not
of
a
them
lot,
being aggressive.
though. Not a lot.
And
Really
bot
calm
lane, I mean,
down.
who does this go to? Vayne
Oh
able
my
to pick
god,
up a
Vayne!
kill at the
Oh,
bottom
Vayne's gonna
here.
take both of them! Easy! Town! Oh, but the J4 coming in. The Vayne's not long for this world.
Oh my
Not
goodness!
enough
The
damage,
J4
and
comes
the
in
J4
just in
comes in,
time.
turns it
That
around.
is a clutch moment right there. I mean, Vayne looking like just an absolute sweep.
That's another kill onto the Vayne, though, and farm denied for the Caitlyn. Not the worst thing that could have happened, but unfortunate. That J4 is just quicker this game. Always where he needs to be, helping out his lanes and getting his team the advantages they need.
And King Mike might
this
go
fight
down
right here.
here.
It's going to the Gnar. A bit of over-aggression
Yeah.
by the Camille. And that Gnar is starting to show his power. Even with the misplays early, he recovers, and he is looking stronger than ever.
Yeah, I mean, I think King Mike thought he had it, and when he grabbed onto the wall, you could see a brief debate of what was going on. He went full throttle on it.
Ooh, the Nidalee going in on two. The jungler, he gets out easily, but Nidalee with the pursuit. Do they have anything here? It does not look like it. A good chunk by the Nidalee, though. Might be able to put some pressure on this bot turret. I doubt it. And it looks like we're going to see the TP mid by the... Oh!
Does it stop?
Interrupted.
No,
The
made
trap could not actuate in time. An aggressive TP by the mid laner and is not punished for it. Ooh. Just spotted out by those Trinket and not going to be able to get the gank off on mid.
No, and this is where it starts to come down.
Oh, and Vayne
Vayne
is
going
feeling
all
confident.
out.
Vayne thinks she has the damage for it. And does she? She does. She knows her limits. Beautiful CC coming
Yeah,
in from
that's gonna
Benji.
be
And
easy.
that is going to be a double kill for the Vayne. Traded back.
Honestly, I'm surprised Vayne went down in that scenario. I mean, it was looking...
Well played by the Morgana to stick in there and get the damage off. But that is another 2 kills going over to the Vayne. And that is the win condition they want to play to. When that Vayne starts getting her items, she's able to just go in on the Caitlyn. Caitlyn does not have the answers.
No. No, I mean, you got the poke.
Oh, we got a fight going in top lane here. It looks like Gnar is not going to be the winner of this fight.
Great
but
flash.
can he get out? Oh, does
Oh.
not get the Mega Gnar in time. If he gets that in time, that's a whole different story. He might be able to turn that one around. But the sacrifice is going to turn into another dragon for Macro Gaming. And if that's the condition they want to play to, they are well on their way. That's their second dragon, but they might lose top turret for it. Alright, Morgana over the wall. Can't imagine she steals it with the bind. Puts the pool down for a cheeky steal. Not gonna happen. Top lane turret goes over to the blue side, responded by the dragon. And both teams are just playing out their early games, but a pretty big lead still for Ascension.
Yeah, I mean, it's closer than you think. I mean, looking at the goal discrepancy here, you think it's almost a leaning towards a blowout, but the fights have been back and forth, and that's kind of what I like
Absolutely.
seeing.
Absolutely, and the win condition, again, I cannot stress this enough, for Macro Gaming is this Vayne, and she is in a fantastic position. Hardly down in CS, up in kills, almost certainly up in gold. Went for the Kraken Slayer. That is an aggressive build. Shows the confidence this Vayne has in her play and to space properly and to carry a fight. She's relying on the shields and heals from her team. We'll see if that doesn't come to bite her.
No, I think Kraken Slayer is kind of the right move to go here. I mean, you really just...
So much damage.
It's true.
All right. Got some vision being cleared in the Dragon Pit. Not a lot going to be going on in that area anytime soon. Looks like Camille is going to be swapping down to the bot side. And looks like they're going to be trying... No, both turrets are already down. So it looks like Camille is trying to avoid this Gnar at all costs. Maybe trying to get a pick out onto this Vayne. But what are these teams going to go for now? Nothing really on the map for either team to take.
No, I mean, on Macro Gaming, I'm really worried about who gets hit by the Morgana bind because the CC follow-up coming up, or just the damage follow-up coming off that, is immeasurable.
There is no true tank on the side of Macro Gaming either, so it is going to be tough. Any target can be one-shot on their team. And with the amount of damage coming out from the J4, from the Orianna, from the Camille, from the Caitlyn, all of those things layered onto each other, it is going to be quite the tough fight for Macro Gaming to come out on top of. Ooh, and a flash from the Morgana. That was a good respect flash. Now, can they do anything here? It looks like they're just going to walk right on out, but that's a nice little advantage for Macro Gaming. They got pretty much for free.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, you know what they can do, so you just use the flash.
Oh my god, the Morgana with the massive chunk coming in has to commit her flash, and that is going to be a tough pill to swallow for Ashen Ascension. They still have an advantage, but they got to be careful if they don't close this game out quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for the Orianna ball on the Jarvan. This is what
or
I
the
keep
Camille,
looking for.
either one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and this Gnar is going nuts. I don't know if he wants this fight. He clearly doesn't. He walks out. Nothing lost for that, but the pressure from Macro Gaming is still very high. This game could easily go either way.
Yep. I mean, you get the Gnar, you get the commitment like that. This team is saying, whoa, slow down there, cowboy. We're around you, but we're not that close.
Very, very true. All right. Things are really starting to slow down here in the mid game. Not a whole lot of action going on. All right. Got a decent CS lead in the mid lane. Top lane is still going the way of the Gnar. Jungler is fairly even, and that Vayne is sticking strong, and she is just getting stronger and stronger as the game progresses. But you gotta be careful, though.
Can't just rely on the Vayne. They got to stay in this game. They can't fall behind any more than this, or else that Camille on top of Orianna on top of J4 is just going to absolutely destroy that Vayne.
And looking here at the scoreboard, you see Gnar 1-5, and you think to yourself, 1-5? I mean, the guy has so much map pressure. You wouldn't be expecting that.
Yeah, and that's where that Jarvan is finding its power right now, is all those kills that he got fed by the Gnar. So that Jarvan is going to be a problem, but Jarvan doesn't have the scaling that Nidalee does, and we're going to see a much different story come late game. Now, the CC is going to be quite important, but it looks like that Ashen Ascension is just going to go rush the Baron.
I mean, they
Has
know where
the
they are on
control.
the map,
They do
but-
not have any way to respond to this. Jungler is bot side, and this is a really smart play by Ashen Ascension.
Wow, they're just going to get this for free. You would think
Absolutely,
there'd be
no
some sort of-
contention, no contention. They gotta know, they gotta realize what's going on, but they realize there's nothing they can do about it. No trades, and that is just going to be a free Baron. Almost at the 20-minute mark. Oh, we got a play going in bot lane here. Gnar going into Camille, and it looks like they're both going to walk out of that unscathed. Camille going to E out of there.
That Gnar damage is just
That Gnar
too
damage,
wild.
he cannot compete. Oh, things are starting to look grim for Macro Gaming. They're probably going to have to play the long game here. Go for splits. Try to avoid team fights, because the power coming out of Ashen Ascension may just be too powerful for him.
Yeah, and you know, that's the thing. I really don't think it is too much of one team's ahead of the
Ooh,
other.
a big spear chunking out the Caitlyn. Beautiful play by Take a Leave, and they're just going to start this dragon, and Macro Gaming knows there's nothing they can do to contest.
No.
Ooh, a little late on the Mega Gnar, but
King
Mike
is-
might have bit off a little more than he could chew. Commits the flash.
think he's gonna go
Is it going
down
to be
here.
enough? Is he in ultimate range? The W. Here comes the ult. Saving the ult. Beautiful. And an easy pick onto King Mike.
Yeah, you give up the dragon, but at least you get something out of it.
Yeah, but if you're Ashen Ascension, you do not like to see your top laner dying for nothing. They had already gotten it at that point. A massive chunk coming out of the Orianna onto the Nidalee.
Yeah, it's Tommy 2 time. I mean, that's what he's known for. The guy knows the map, he knows the players, he knows the game. I'd watch out for this guy. I mean, he's right in your face,
Ooh.
but...
That J4 gets massively chunked here, and this Morgana is not long for this world. She is going to go down, and we saw Chase on the J4. The flash ultimate by the Gnar, over the shockwave by the Orianna, who is going to win, and it looks like a rout by Macro Gaming onto Ascension, and a beautiful play to get them back into this game.
Wow. That was just, you get caught in different spots. You got nothing. I mean, you're going to get chased down all day by the Gnar and the Vayne. You can't outrun that. When you're stuck there, you either got to find a way over the wall, or you just got to turn around and do what damage you can.
That Gnar is just getting more powerful and powerful, and so is that Vayne. The damage coming out is starting to get unreal. And on the side of Ashen Ascension, though, we have the massive... There's really nothing that Macro could have done in that situation other than get those kills. No objectives on the map. Still have a pretty big gold lead, but it's shrinking by the minute. And the later this game goes, the more items this Vayne gets. We got a completed Rage Blade onto that Vayne, working on a Zeal for her next item, and that Vayne is starting to get scary. 3-item Vayne, you don't want to be on the Rift anymore when she gets 3 items.
No, I mean, say it with me. Chase down, chase down, chase down. That's
Oh
the
my
napkin name of the
God.
game for Macro. You just can't escape them.
I can't wait for the late game to see if this Vayne will show us a masterclass in kiting forward with the shields, with the heals. That Vayne is going to be going off, and I don't know if they have the burst to respond to her.
They have the burst, but can they do it?
Yeah.
That's the big question. You get a Karma Shield in there. I mean,
You know,
that thing is incredible on
If
its
you're on
own.
the side of Macro Gaming, though, you still aren't looking for a full 5v5. You want to get these picks. You want to chase them down. You want to get them caught out. But it looks like Ashen Ascension is not going to allow that. And you see, because of that, Macro Gaming are just going to stick back, farm these waves, and try to match them. And hopefully wait for an engage onto them. But it looks like Gnar is thinking of something here, and we get the flash out for basically free. A nice pressure play. Now, will this Gnar convert this into anything? possibly the bind
Nice
coming
root.
out.
Nice root.
Bind coming out, and that'll stop any aggression. Oh, and this Gnar might be off of this world. Oh, but the...
Oh, that's going to be it for Ashen
That
Ascension.
is going to be it. The damage is unreal. The Vayne is untouched, forgotten about. She is
Wow.
going to wipe this fight.
No, I mean,
One
that
man
was a
lost
bad
on
fight from the
side of
start. When
Macro.
you're blowing everything on a Mega Gnar, you know you're in for some deep trouble.
Oh,
you really
that
don't
was-
want to double down and engage
No,
in a
they-
scenario like that. You kind of want
No,
to
and
cut your
no
losses.
hesitation by the Gnar. Saw the angle, eased right in, scoops the whole team back, and from there you knew it was going to be a wipe.
Yeah, the perfect Mega Gnar all right into the Nami wave.
And the shields, the buffs coming on to this Vayne are unreal, stacking with the items she already has. And we are going to see, can they snowball this into an objective?
Yeah, I mean, I think they snowballed this into a victory.
I
It's-
think so too.
it's
They
just-
have the better scaling comp. They're going to easily come out on top. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, they only have the better scaling comp just because of the Vayne. Oriana scales well, so does the Camille. A little bit of an aggressive play by the Nard. Doesn't quite bear fruit, but it doesn't really matter.
No, it's like I just don't know where the synergy went. I really don't. I mean, they had a good thing going on at this point, but it just dropped off. I still have not seen the Oriana J4 combo that this team, I feel like, was initially picked.
No, I know, but that's the problem. They're taking all of these bad fights. The Ori ult onto Gnar. That is not who you want to be using your ult on.
And it's a singular ult.
And all the focus goes on to Gnar. Vayne was able to just kite on the side of that fight beautifully. No one even focused her. Still has the cleanse up for the next fight and the heal from the Nami. And it looks like a smart trade coming in by Macro Gaming. They know they got 2 dragons. They can afford to give up the 3rd one and go straight for the Baron on respawn. Do they have the speed to catch up? The Baron spawn's a little bit shorter, but that Vayne is going to shred. Absolutely shred through that Baron with the Gnar. They are not going to kill that before they even have a chance
Oh,
to
yeah.
contest
I mean,
it.
Ascension Gaming says...
Ascension's
"Listen,
got to
I'm
get
taking
out of there,
Dragon."
too. They do not want to take this fight.
No.
An
Yeah.
aggressive back by the Gnar will not be punished. Ascension knows they have lost their lead. They are now behind 2k gold, and it's going to be only going to be a matter of time before they close this game out.
Yeah, it's one of those things you got to try to put yourself in their shoes. What were they thinking? They know Dragon
Whoa.
was up. They
Stop
know
you right
Baron
there,
was
Chase. We
up.
got the Gnar chasing down the Camille. The Q gets in, and that is going to be enough. That Camille, the speed up by the Karma, and the
Man,
flash
that's
Q
it,
by the
yeah.
Gnar, knowing his damage limits, and a solo kill. Well, not exactly a solo kill, but close enough by the Gnar.
Yeah, I'd say pretty close. I'd give it to him in
Oh,
that
and that
category.
we're seeing the strength of that Karma. 0-1 and 8, and just shielding up her entire team, giving the buffs to everybody. And my word, are we seeing the power in that pick? Right, we are just waiting for the end of this game. Do they pressure lanes and try to use this Baron? Looks like they haven't done a good job of that yet. They're going to take the outer turret in bot lane. And are they going to look to converge there and use their Baron power play? Oh, Morgana is going in.
we
They
go.
are committing for this Baron. A beautiful flash, anticipating the Jarvan ult. And
Yeah,
that is going
that's
to be
it.
all she wrote. The Vayne is going to mop them up. Gnar coming in from the side, blocking up the mid laner, and Oriana goes down.
That is
Camille is
it.
not long for this world. They are going to chase her down all the way to Chinatown, and that is it. The quadra kill for the Vayne, and that is a masterclass of kiting you're not going to see ever again.
No, I mean, you have a good idea, right? You got the right mindset. You say, listen, the Vayne's here. It's your turn, Nami. Let's pick her off quick. And the Vayne is just able to escape that ultimate, and you're just stuck there with no way to get back on her. She just has a free range to just do whatever she wants.
Beautiful,
and
and a beautiful anticipation flat, and that will almost assuredly be the game. Only the Morgana left up, and the whole team up on the side of Macro Gaming. Oh, do they have enough to contest? Does not look like it, and that will be the end of the game. Going in for the final kills, but it looks like a 2-0 week for Macro Gaming. What a game!
What a game indeed. What a game indeed. It kind of was going pretty evenly matched there for a little bit. I mean, Ascension was pulling ahead pretty good. And
were.
they lost it somewhere. They lost it somewhere.
All right. That was a fantastic game. We're going to have an interview queued up for a little bit, but first, let's talk about what went wrong for Ashen Ascension that game.
I think a few things. I think one of the big ones was, I know you're a little bit behind, but you gotta contest that Baron. There's no reason to say, listen, I'm gonna get my third dragon. You just take Baron. That's not the way you
A
want to do
massive, massive oversight. I can understand if that's Soul, but it wasn't even
Right.
Soul, just the third one. Both teams tied in Dragon. You got to be there to contest that Baron, especially when they had the initiative on the first Baron to have the positioning right at 22 minutes into the game and burst
Yep.
that thing down. Didn't plan for the second Baron. Were on their heels the rest of the game. And honestly, a beautiful job of Macro Gaming to survive that early game, funnel into the Vayne. A little bit of overaggression by the Gnar, but he recovered. He made some huge plays down the stretch.
And like I was saying, I mean, you look at the scoreboard, the guy's 1-5, but he's running the map like he owns the thing.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that is just the singular
While he-
power of Gnar.
While he was giving up kills, they didn't go to his lane opponent. And the
No.
CS differential was still kept up there pretty well. And
No, I
that
mean-
power from the Gnar, ooh, that opened my eyes.
Right.
That Gnar is a scary pick.
And even though the kills went to Jarvan, I actually think he did a pretty good use of
Oh,
it. in terms
absolutely.
of
Jarvan
roaming
by
the
far
map.
is the MVP for the losing team. He was making plays to keep him in that early game, but problem is, you lose track of that Vayne, you're going to be in for a rough time.
Problem is, the J4 can't damage enough to beat that shield. I mean, just the heals and the shields from the supports, pretty much buffing Vayne alone.
Oh.
You can't run through it. You
I
just
was
can't.
I was honestly worried they wouldn't have enough damage with just the Vayne and the Gnar, but boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
Nidalee coming with a decent burst, but that Vayne damage was insane that
It
game.
was.
Absolutely shredding through people, kiting perfectly, perfect use of summoner spells, and just able to survive the early game, even able to get some trade kills. Not a bad showing at all by that Vayne, and that Quadra was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I think they really lost it when they put everything onto that Gnar by himself. He just survives it all, tanks it through, and then they got nothing left, and they got run down.
Oh, that one fight mid?
Yep. After that, they really didn't have kind of anything left.
No,
They
that
were-
I believe
that's
that
where
was
they
the
fell
turning
apart.
point right there.
It was.
We had Macro Gaming still on their heels. Macro was fishing for a fight, and all it took was them to blow all of their load onto the Gnar, and it was over at that point.
In blue, they did. Trust
Oh.
me. I mean, I was still waiting, like I said multiple times, for that Orianna J4 combo,
And we never
it
saw it.
just never showed
We
up.
never saw it. We never had a value enough target for it to happen. So
No, absolutely.
absolutely. But honestly, Macro Gaming looking like they may be the front runner in this league.
A strong
really,
start.
really powerful showing.
A strong start. We've seen them play from ahead. We've seen them play from behind. There's something about the team where they're able to calibrate and all work together that we haven't seen from any other team so far.
Yeah, and a lot of versatility coming in from that team too.
That's
Like,
right.
We got the mid laner on Orianna one game, then playing a support the next game. We're seeing a lot of different versatile play styles.
We
All right, and we've got our interview queued up right now. We are going to be tuning in with the bot lane for Macro Gaming. We got Bertolt Hoover and Benji, and I'm not sure why we got this graphic up here, but who cares? We are going to get right into the interview any moment. All right.
Hello, Benji. How's it going today?
It's good. Long time no see, guys.
Absolutely. We always love to have you on. You know that.
Thank you.
All right. On the Nami this game, not exactly as flashy as the Thresh, but a lot of good zoning plays and a pretty strong laning phase with the disadvantage you had against the Morgana Caitlyn. How do you feel you played that lane, and how do you feel you were able to get advantages in that lane once Vayne got the items?
I think there were a few times when we mismanaged our waves and we got forced into awkward recalls, which is why I got picked out, which was bad.
Mhm.
I think on their side, I think honestly compositionally they drafted really hard for winning lanes, and their team comp didn't have a whole lot of synergy besides the Jarvan and the Orianna. So they really didn't have any way to lock down the Vayne. I don't actually love the Morgana pick into Vayne because it's really hard for her to do anything.
Mm.
Vayne can just dodge the once she throws binding, Vayne can just all in her. And you saw that happen once Vayne hit 6 and he had items. It was really
Yeah,
easy
they
for
were-
us to just force an all in, and they didn't really have any way to deal with it.
Yeah, definitely going for a win lane, win game strategy there. Would have almost liked to see a Leona from the side of
Ooh.
Ashen Ascension.
That would have been
A
nice.
little bit better lockdown for the Vayne. Might have seen Cleanse blown more than one time that game, but
Yeah. Yeah.
reached a point where Vayne was able to do whatever the heck she wanted. A couple aggressive plays bot lane facilitated by you, and it reached a point where they didn't have the tools to get onto the Vayne, and Vayne just carried the game. And obviously that was the strategy going into it, was just funnel the Vayne.
Yep. And I almost feel like it was a Gnar carry of the game. Of course, Vayne was picking up all the kills, but Gnar was
Well,
kind of making the move.
As we were saying in the broadcast, the lead by the Gnar could have snowballed, but a couple of over-aggressive misplays, misjudging his power, but the bot lane was able to pull through, and the Gnar was able to make some big plays.
That's true. Now, coming off a 2-0 start, where does this put your mindset? Do you feel like that you're in a comfortable place, or you guys still got to keep working and ever improving?
Yeah, we're definitely going to keep trying to improve. I think we're pretty happy with this week. We played 2 really different team comps, and we definitely had more mistakes the second game than the first, but we were able to play from behind pretty well. I think they had some big errors in the mid game where they threw a lead and got caught in our jungle, and I don't know if they were 100% sure what they were playing for because they had a few awkward rotations, but I think I'm pretty happy with how we played from in front and behind. So we definitely feel good about this week. Excited for the weeks coming up, but definitely going to keep trying to improve and keep
Yeah.
trying to iron out our wrinkles.
Absolutely. I mean, we love watching you play, and as Pat was saying, you really are good from behind. But it's great that you guys are able to just, stay in the game. It didn't look like at any point you had really just fallen off and you were just throwing Hail Marys to get something. You guys knew what you were doing objective to objective, and it's powerful. It is.
All right,
Thank
where is the question, Chase?
That he's good from behind. So listen up. Just let them take the lead. Never get them behind. They'll win every time.
Yeah,
That's true.
we saw two different play styles there, playing from a lead, playing from behind. Both resulted in wins, and that's the versatility we want to see. So, going forward, what is your feel? How do you feel you're matching up against the other teams in this league so far? How comfortable are you feeling?
We're feeling pretty comfortable. I'm really happy with how each of our laners played. Our jungle Taken played really, really well both games. The first game he was able to just play the Rengar really well, match the other jungler, get off some really good ganks. And then the second game on his Nidalee was really good. He snowballed an early lead and really just knew what our win condition was and played around it well. And then obviously our top laner too played that Gnar super well. Even when he was down in kills, he had a big CS lead and honestly was much more impactful than the Camille or to a large degree the Jarvan, even though they had the kills. And then our ADC, both games, the first game he didn't have to do very much. The second game you saw him on the Vayne, just absolutely run over that 2v4 at the end, super clean kiting, good flash, really good position, was able to play really well and played the lane well both games. And then our mid is just super solid, good laner, and he had some really clutch roams. The Orianna ults were huge, so I'm really happy with how everyone's playing on an individual level, but also how everyone's playing on a team level and playing around each other well, and not just getting tilted or anything when we're behind, but keeping in the game and looking for the plays we can make. So I feel good about everyone on our team and how we're
Awesome.
playing in these weeks coming up.
Yeah.
All right,
And
well-
you're looking great out there.
Yeah, and certainly some strong showings. Well, thank you so much for joining us. 2-0 start for Macro Gaming. Great work out there, Benji. Keep it up.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Well, exciting games on the first day of the SLS. And
Oh,
we're
yes.
just getting started.
Oh, yes. I mean, a lot rolled out here. It was a great start. I mean, fantastic players all around. I know there's a couple losses in there, but they played their hearts out, and I'm looking forward to more games.
Definite competitive games. Both teams showed a proficiency in macro play, able to stay in games even when they're behind, even when it looked hopeless. And frankly, exciting games, big plays, and especially on the side of Macro Gaming. Can't wait to see more play from them.
Yeah, I can't either. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting for King Mike to get on that aggressive champion and just steamroll lane. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. It is.
All right, and we're going to wrap it up here on the first day of the SLS. Make sure to tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. for the next game. with Ashen Ascension taking on Ashen Valkyrie. Oh man, we haven't even seen Ashen Valkyrie yet. This is
We
going to be-
haven't. It's a hot commodity. I'm
All right.
excited for this
Make sure you tune in. That is at 8 p.m. Going to have Valkyrie versus Ascension and more, and another game after that. So we can't wait. You can't wait. We'll see you then. This is Patrick and Chase signing off.